Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Hi. Good evening. Good evening, Sheetal. How are you doing?
I'm, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. Well, my name is Sheetal and I'm from Mysore, Karnataka. And could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is also Shital and I'm from Maharashtra. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm working as a professional, as a HR executive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And now I want to improve my communication skills in English. That's why I'm here on Clapping Off.
All right. Wonderful. You have attended about good 46 sessions. And how has your experience been?
Yeah, my experience was great with Clapping Off.
Has
Experience
been?
has been great.
Okay. All right.
And it
Wonderful.
is not a 46 session. I think in between some session are cancelled, some session are missed.
Okay. I have missed few sessions.
Yeah.
Got it.
I
Okay.
have missed few session and some session was cancelled. That's why.
Some sessions were cancelled, not was,
Okay. Some session were cancelled.
were cancelled. Okay. All right. Fine. Would you like to speak about the topic that is mentioned in the session notes, or do you want to speak about anything random?
I think today's topic is environment, and I'm not interested in environment.
Okay. All right. Uh, why don't we talk about your job a little bit? You mentioned that you have been working as HR, and
Yeah.
how long have you been working as an HR?
I'm working since last 1 year.
Okay. And how has your experience been? Do you like it? Do you like your work?
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
like my work and my experience as great with as a HR.
Has been
And
great.
yeah, my experience has been great as a HR.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think HR is a bridge in between employees and company. So
Yes,
it's
yes,
nice.
certainly. So there are a lot of opportunities where you have to have interactions with the employees, right?
Yeah, yes,
Especially.
employees and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Go
continue.
ahead, please.
What are you asking?
I was just asking about your experience, as in, do you uh, do you have to speak to them in English, or do you use your mother tongue? Is what I asked.
Mm-hmm. No, I use my mother tongue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Means sometime I
Okay.
use my mother tongue, and it's depend on employee, and if the employee don't doesn't know in English, so I speak with him or her in a mother tongue.
Okay. All right. So in that case, to what extent do you speak in English with your colleagues and employees, the employees of your organization?
Means,
To
can you
what
repeat the
extent?
question?
To what extent do you
Mm.
have conversation with with your colleagues in English? Maybe you can
What
answer it in
extent means?
percentage. Percentage maybe.
I think 70 to 80%.
Okay, all right. And where do you go wrong? Where do you feel you go wrong?
I think I stuck about means I didn't find words.
I get stuck, or
I get
I
stuck.
I am unable to find the right words. Most of the times,
Yes.
I'm unable to find
Mm.
the right words.
Sometimes I get stuck and I unable to find words,
Right words due to lack of vocabulary.
vocabulary. Yeah, due to lack of vocabulary.
Okay. What are you
So
doing
what?
to improve your? Go ahead.
I'm
Sorry.
reading. I'm reading books, and I just ask you what are your suggestion to improve vocabulary?
There's only one mantra that I mention to every student: read, write, and interact. Okay.
Right.
So this is the third step. Whatever we are doing right now is the third one. The first step is to read. Second one is to write. Most people do develop a habit of reading, but then again they don't write. Writing is essential because Humans have 100 things in their head, especially now with the technology. We're constantly distracted. We have a number of things running in our head. So
Yes,
writing
exactly.
is a very slow process, and what writing does is that it will help you, uh, organize your thoughts very well.
Yeah, it
So the
is.
next
But
time you have a
I also.
conversation,
Mhm. Yeah, it's the same with me. I like reading. It's my hobby, but I don't like writing.
you
The
have to write. If you want to bring in more clarity in the thought process, you have to write. I write
yeah,
every day.
yes.
I've been writing
Oh,
for a long time now. You don't have to necessarily write an entire page. You don't have to fill a page. Just write 5 to 10 sentences. So
right.
after the
Mm-hmm.
class, you can just write about this particular session. You can just say, I
Mm-hmm.
attended a clapping session with so and so trainer. She was from la la la. We spoke about this and this topic, etc., etc. Just few sentences, 5 to 10, not more than that.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
itself will, the next time somebody asks you about this session, you can
Mm-hmm.
just answer them better because you've already written it down. So you have practiced it. You know which
Yeah.
sentence to be said first and
Means
which one.
yes, I able
The
to
flow of
describe.
the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, flow of the conversation will be much better if you write.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
extremely underrated, but yes, it will help a lot.
Yeah. From now, I will try to write.
Just have a pen and paper right next to you, then your bedside. And just write down 5 sentences before you go to sleep. That's good enough.
Yeah. Yes. I tried before, but I just continue. I don't make means I didn't make a consistency.
I
I
didn't
just try to
maintain.
maintain a consistency. I just
Mhm.
follow it 2 3 days and it's tough.
Okay, okay, okay. I did not follow through, or I was not consistent. The thing is, when you are trying to develop a good habit, it's always difficult. Bad habits, you can just pick
Yeah.
it just like this. Good habits, it is very, very difficult to um,
Yeah, it's
um,
true.
practice. Yes. So it'll take
So
time,
you are
but
a teacher?
yes, I'm a full-time teacher now. I was
Mhm.
an IT professional, but now I'm a full-time teacher.
Okay. At a school or in a school.
No, 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 no. No. I conduct sessions, spoken English classes online for working professionals mostly. I do not teach
Hmm.
it.
Okay, so you are doing part time as a part time on Clappingo.
Yes, yes,
Means you have also personal classes. Or...
yes, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
do. I do. A lot of people
Right.
approach me through other social media applications like LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. So, and also
Mm-hmm.
friends, mutual friends, relatives. So, I do conduct classes for them as well.
Okay. So how was your experience? Means like what type of learners you have in English? Like.
For the most part,
Mm-hmm.
it is good. As in, all the students are very respectful. There are just few incidents where the students do not understand the flow of the conversation, and they find it very hard to understand. But most of them do. Uh, the one thing that I really appreciate is that they are very curious. Almost all the learners are extremely curious, and that is the true identity, or what should I say? If you want to be a learner, you have to be curious. So they are good
Yes.
and they're very respectful, and I certainly love this. Every day I get to meet new people, and also if even if I conduct my own sessions every 3 months or 6 months, I get to meet new people. So that's a wonderful thing. That is something that is missing in IT actually. It was very
Yeah.
monotonous, the same thing, same people.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here, that's not the case. Every day is a new experience. So I really love it.
Means like different type of students and they face different types of hurdles in
Yes,
speaking
yes,
while
yes,
speaking in English.
yes, yes. Those are mostly similar, but then again, they're usually from various backgrounds. Someone is an HR professional, or someone's a businessman, a
Mm-hmm.
teacher, or teachers as well. Various. But most of my students are IT professionals. Most. Yeah.
I think your English language is also your second language. As,
Yes, my mother tongue is Kannada.
okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm from
since when you means you started to speak in English, if you don't mind to share?
this is one question which is asked it's very frequently. First thing is that I was an obedient student during school days. I was quite obedient, and
Mm-hmm.
my teacher was really nice. And she was a wonderful lady, and I mean, she is a wonderful lady, and she was very polite. I used to like her demeanor, and that is how I was much more drawn towards this language. And my mother used to provide my sister and I with a lot of books, story books. They're
Mm-hmm.
colorful, animated, and they're wonderful storybooks. So we sometimes we would understand it, sometimes we would not understand it. Sometimes we would just draw, start coloring using crayons. But the
Mm-hmm.
environment was always there, to learn more. And then I started reading novels when I was about 17, 18 or so. And I started with classic novels. And the classic novels are a bit
Mm-hmm.
difficult to read in the beginning, but the language that is used in classic novels is absolutely wonderful. It is
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
Victorian era. So that is how I improved my communication skills. And back then, we
Because
didn't
I
have
also,
mobile phones. Go ahead, please.
because I also have 5 years old daughter. So
Oh, great.
uh,
In that case, you should buy her a lot of storybooks. You have these Panchatantra, Aesop's fables. There's so many of them.
mhm, right.
Irrespective of whether she'll read it or not, just let her just sift through the pages, just peruse through the entire book.
Yeah. She is not know how to read, but I will read for her. I'm reading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading for her.
Mm-hmm. Or else you can just let them be. Just give the book and just let them explore by themselves. It's a
Okay.
wonderful way. Yeah, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
cartoons also helped a lot.
Yeah, she
Yes.
watched English cartoon.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And there are some wonderful, funny series as well. Like, for example, Young Sheldon. Really
Eng,
interesting.
what's
Young
name?
Sheldon. Young Sheldon. Sheldon. You might have heard of Big Bang Theory, right? So there's a character called
Mm-hmm.
Sheldon, and they
Mm-hmm.
have a separate web series for the younger version of Sheldon. Let's call it Young Sheldon. Something like this. But mostly cartoons will help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And also journaling. Journaling has helped immensely because, you know, I speak in Kannada and most of my neighbors and friends and everybody speaks in Kannada. So
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't necessarily a person with whom I could speak in English constantly. Even at home, I would
Right.
speak with my sister, obviously my parents as well, but the percentage is much lesser. 80% Kannada, 20% English. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I started journaling, just not because I wanted to improve the communication skills, just because I wanted to write. That's why. I think
Right.
that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I was able to improve the communication skills without actually working on it. Because I loved reading as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the whole process. So there
You
was no
want to
pressure.
suggest any English book to me?
Yes, of course. Do you like romantic novels or comedy or which one? What's your favorite genre?
Anything. I means I have hobby to read. So
This is my
whenever I
all-time favorite.
mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. So this is my all-time favorite. You can go ahead and read this. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This again is a Victorian era novel.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I've mentioned it in the chat box. You can just check this. You
Okay.
might find it a bit difficult in the beginning, initially,
Mm-hmm.
but once you get the hang of it, you will love it. You will start. You just have to enjoy the story.
Yeah, right. I think in the beginning I was started to reading Sudha Murthy's book,
Indian
English books.
authors, huh, I mean, I sincerely appreciate Sudhamurthy, but the thing is, Indian authors will always have some amount of mother tongue influence, some for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually do not suggest Indian
Prefer.
authors.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. to start with classic novels and it's going to be difficult. Then slowly
Yeah.
explore other authors. This is what I would suggest. But then
Right.
there's nothing wrong in reading in authors, but just know that there will be influence, mother tongue influence, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to ask?
No, I think it's enough for me to for today.
All right. Well then, so what's your plan now? It's 8:17. Yeah. Did you have your
Uh,
dinner?
no, no, I will dinner after the
I
session.
will have dinner. I
I
will
will
have
have dinner
dinner.
after session.
Post, yeah, after session or post session, you have it. All right. Then.
You have your dinner, ma'am.
Did you have your dinner, or have you
Do you
had
have?
dinner? Did you
Mm-hmm.
have you
Did
had or did you have?
okay.
Or you can say did you have? Yeah. No, not yet. I will have now. Maybe in another half an hour or so. I have one session left.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
It's great.
Uh, It was
It's
nice
great
talking to
talking to
you.
you.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll connect again soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take care.
Definitely.
Bye bye.
Bye. Take care. Good night.